So piggybacking off of that, what makes you who you are, one of the best tight ends in the league, is your confidence, right? So going through all that adversity, right? Us going to the games, like it's only human where I can be like, well, damn, like I wonder how he's feeling,
Yeah.
right? So losing that confidence and battling, just with your mental, how were you able to bounce back and catch your second wind and go into the Jaguars and then balling out and showing everyone, Evan Engram, that you know who you are, like one of the best tight ends in the game? Because lose your confidence like that, especially being in the big market, the fans, media attacking you, like for
Yeah.
anyone, I don't care who you are, that's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then doubling down, putting the work in, going to Jacksonville, betting on yourself, taking a 1 year deal, and be like, I'm him, I'm a snap, doing it.
Yeah.
Like how was that process to bounce back and catch your
Yeah.
mental?
Um, bro, it was just I had to grow up. Like I literally had to grow up. Um, the things I was experiencing here in New York, like just like my routine, like how I was as a professional, just wasn't what it was supposed to be. Like I was kind of just showing up, kind of like I put the work in. Like I was one of the hardest working guys all the time. But there was always more I could do that I never realized that I should be doing.
Mhm.
Um, and so I got smacked in the mouth. I got knocked on my ass, and it's like now I'm on this 1 year deal, this first round pick. Everybody's calling a bus, and um, you can't stay healthy, you can't catch, whatever. Like my back was against the wall, and I always saw myself as like the big contract guy.
Mhm.
Like my talent, like there's not a lot of guys in the league that can do what I do, especially at my position.
Hell no. How bro, you running 4.42 at your size is crazy.
And I
Crazy.
always knew, like I knew I knew who I am. Like I knew like I had the potential. Like I knew I've done it. Like I've literally done it. But it just wasn't happening on game days.
Mhm.
Like I had great camps, had great practices, I had flashes in games, but just wasn't consistent.
Lashes, bro. I seen you grab a one-handed grab. Say his first game against the Jaguars. It got called back, but it was the craziest catch I seen somebody make. After the game, I was like, "Fool,
Yeah.
that Evan dude is some serious."
Like
So it
that.
was like it was there, like, and I appreciate that, but it was there. But when I started this, so I met my trainer that I work with every day now. His name is Drew Lieberman. Um, us meeting changed everything because I met him. I met him on the football field the off season after my worst year, going into what was going to be my last year with the Giants, and I was still really like all over the place mentally. Like I was still thinking about my bad plays. I was still playing out of, and like working and just operating out of fear and doubt and just like I was just like kind of scarred from everything. And once our relationship started to form, and like I don't know if y'all have ever read the book called Relentless by
Relentless.
Tim Grover.
Great
Yep.
book.
Um,
Cleaners.
Cleaner,
Yeah, cleaners, bro.
Cleaner,
Yep.
and I read that book before, literally the season before that bad year. And you can talk to Say about it. We always talked about because he read it too, and we always like would push each other like, "Yo, like you're cleaner today. Were you this and that?" Like, but we just weren't like I wasn't there mentally. It was just a cool thing to.
Mhm.
I met him, and like one of the first things that we based our work off of was how Kobe worked and how MJ worked, and like their regimen and like their attention to detail and like how they attacked the game and how they attacked the craft. And a lot of people try to uh a lot of people say like, oh, like mama mentality and stuff like that, and like it's a cool kind of thing to like say that you have, but it's a different mentality. It's just different like, when
Yep.
you really dive into it. So me as like this, I was messed up mentally and just wasn't as confident, and like meeting with this dude, we just hit it off from the jump. Like our work was started to become very detailed. He was breaking down my game and my film to where like, okay, like you need to be better here, like this could be better. I started diving into all these details of my game that I never looked at before. Like it was just kind of walk out there and off the strength and just do what I
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
But there's actual art to running routes. Like there's an actual like a football field is literally a canvas, and if you know the game and learn the game and study the game and study the greats, like you can create your own art like within that world. And but we just worked and we broke down every single thing, and like it took a while because that next season, like that was our first off season working together. I didn't have a crazy year, like I didn't like bounce back or whatever. Like it was a whole process. And like one thing I will credit it to is like I really studied how MJ and Kobe worked. Like you look at Kobe, the coolest thing to me looking at Kobe was I think like his rookie year, he was in the playoffs and he like airballed 3 shots in the
Yep,
playoffs.
in a row.
It's like you look at him then and like where he took his career after that. Like everybody has a rock bottom. Like MJ got hurt, he couldn't get past the Pistons. Like he had to get in the lab and get stronger and get like
Yeah.
I actually studied like how those guys work and how those guys overcame adversity and I probably watched The Last Dance like 20 times. Just the little nuggets
No,
in there,
This
bro.
dude watch that shit every day, bro.
It's so
It's
good,
one of
bro.
the
You
best
could just,
documentaries
bro,
I've
you
ever
could just put it
seen.
on and just like you miss stuff. Like you just pick different stuff. Like it's so good. Kobe has a little documentary called Muse.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about the
Where
surgery?
he goes through the surgery, but he
Yep.
like breaks down his whole like everything that he's been through, and like you look at these greats, look at these goats, and like damn, like they fell on their ass too. Like
Yeah.
they had a moment where they either could have laid down and gave in and just been whatever it was, but look what they did with it.
Right.
And so for me, it was just a maturity thing, and like the coolest thing I learned about them is like they had a routine. Take care of their body, the way they worked, what they were working on, what they were trying to improve on, the film they were watching, the conversations they were having. Bro, I just grew up and like I tried to emulate that as much as possible. And the work just started to come together. The little details started to come together. I started to feel confident. And going into Jacksonville, like it was so weird, man, because I was so used to just being here, being with the Giants, like having my guys, like the locker room, and it was just a complete shift for me. Like I've never been to Jacksonville in my life. Like
I'm
I
playing the
really,
tax layer, bro. That shit's
bro. I can get into the whole story of how I even ended up there, but it's nuts. But I just grew up, man.
Yeah.
I really just grew up, and um, I really turned into a true professional, like trying to be the first one in the building. Uh, staying literally trying to be the last one to leave. Building a relationship with my quarterback. Like Trevor's so young and he's still figuring out how to be a pro, but I took initiative to just like get to know him and like
Yeah.
get to see how he works and how he operates and how he thinks in the pocket and what he likes and what he doesn't like. Having conversation with my coaches and doing pre-practice warm-ups. So like it was just I just grew up, man, and I put the work in and I really honed in on what I was trying to do with my craft. And um, I was playing with confidence all year and had some decent games here and there. And then towards the end of the year when they really like let me loose and they gave me my 8 to 10, damn near 15 targets.
Yeah.
There's I broke through it all. Like I had like a breakthrough moment, like kind of late, middle, end of the season, where like it all just clicked.
I was
Like
proud of you, bro.
Yeah,
everything
bro.
I was
just
super
clicked.
proud,
Like,
I
bro.
appreciate it.
I remember we used to have talks, like we would be outside of wherever and you would just be like, yo, I want to be great. I
Yeah.
want to be great. And like, obviously I was sad to see you leave. Like I sent you a message like, damn, bro, we going to miss you here. But then I'm watching you ball out. Like I'm watching you in the playoff game going
proud,
dumb.
bro.
I'm like,
So
bro.
proud.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. It was tough because like I wanted, I wanted to be great where I got drafted. Like I wanted to have that here, and the
Mhm.
conversations we had, like it's just different. It's different when you do it in New York, like, but that's what just wasn't for me. Like it just wasn't for me. And at the end of the day, like I needed Jacksonville. Like I needed the coaches I had there. I needed the relationships I built with the guys there, and like I had the best time of my life that past season, bro. Where like I literally didn't want. It was the first time in my career where I didn't want to leave the building. Like it was a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm in the building just staying because I want to work. I want to game more, watch more film. I stay with Trevor after the day is over, watching film with him. Like
Having fun. You having fun.
all that
Yeah.
stuff, bro. All that stuff pays off, and it's just like I just came to a point where like I'm not leaving nothing on my plate. Like I'm going to turn over every stone. Like there were times where I wasn't getting targets. I didn't want to go in my coach's office and have that conversation. Like I didn't want to go sit down with another grown man and tell him like, coach, like what do I need to do to get more? Like that's hard things to do. Like it's just some people have it and some people just don't. And it was just I just felt like I grew up and I matured as a professional and I studied the greats. I studied all the good guys that did it. We had the tight end U thing, and I was talking to Greg Olson. He kind of had a similar thing. He got drafted to Chicago, didn't really pan out his career. Like he didn't really break out there. And he went to Carolina and put together a Hall of Fame career. Like I'm asking him, like, yo, like you started over with a new team, like, and you put yourself in a really good position, like with your career. Like, what was it? He was like, bro, just want to just stay true to yourself. Like, don't doubt yourself and just keep working. Like, and it was a simplest answer, but like I really took initiative to like learn and study and find guys that have been in through the gutter and made it out. And uh, you know, I'm not. I give credit to God. Like, it just wasn't me. But I definitely, I'm really, like I put myself in a really good position. And
For
um,
sure.
season I had is, I feel like I'm really honestly, I'm just getting started. Like, I feel like last year was like my rookie year, like all
Right.
over again, which is
Is
a good thing.